Okay, as far as the assignment for the database chapter, it's basically, again, your textbook regurgitations. And I'll tell you, there's a quick thing here. Describing the primary key, candidate key, secondary key, foreign key, and combination key. Now, I know for a fact that many of you are going to be giving me the wrong answer for the foreign key, because the wrong answer is in the textbook, the wrong answer is on Wikipedia, and so on. And I just want to remind you guys that the foreign key is a key that, if the value exists, points to the primary key of a table, not another table. All right, it doesn't have, a foreign key can certainly point to the primary key of its own table. It just has to point to the key of a table, not another table. All right, so we scroll on down. There's more and more stuff here. Great. Then here it's basically saying you get to sort of explain a little bit about some concepts of, what's an entity table and so on, normalization, all that stuff. And then in the parrot place, here's where you get to basically do an actual model. And what I want you to do is, the book is a big fan of using Chen notation. There's nothing wrong with Chen notation. It's just not typically used in industry. At least I haven't seen it used in industry. So Chen was a great guy. I think he's still even alive. I believe he works for IBM. But the deal is that we don't use that notation. I want you to use a notation similar to this. Now, this particular notation, it comes from Oracle Data Modeler, but I mean, it's similar notation too in Visio as well, right? Or even SQL Server. I think it's got the ability to model. So, but you just pick basically something, but do not use Chen notation, please. So you're going to draw an ERD of the product. It should look like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take this image out and you're going to put your image in. All right. And that's kind of about down here, by the way. This is a very good piece of notation for you to know too. It's sort of a shorthand. If you look at books here, here's books. It's got book ID, title, blah, 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 blah. This is basically me writing it out in a sort of a shorthand form. And so that's kind of what I'm asking you to do here. And then you get to do the same kind of thing with the Winsfield Public Transport Utility. So let's just help you a bit with the parrot. So the parrot, it says, the parrot place has got 50 birds, a list of 20 tricks, right? So each bird can do one or more tricks, and many tricks can be performed by a bird. I tell you, you got already the basics of a relational diagram right there. The rest of the stuff, you've got a trainer, you got skill level, you got scores. I mean, there's some other stuff in here, but the basics of it is definitely in that first few sentences. The rest of it is attributes and maybe another entity. Okay, when it comes down to looking at this guy, has held a bond sale to fund the purchase of several buses that serve 3 routes. Yeah, good enough. You've been asked to set up an information thing. So multiple buses will run each route. How about that, huh? So again, you're getting sort of enough that you can draw some stuff out of that. All right, so that's basically it for this particular assignment.